throughout this tournament, just at the verge of going to the grand finals. He just lost a game to the SEC, who has adapted now and finally has figured out a way to combat Stephano. So now the fourth game of the set has begun. Are you excited, Pain User?
I'm excited. Are you ready for this, HD?
Dude, I'm so excited.
Are you guys excited?
All right, ladies and gentlemen. On the top left-hand corner of the map of Shakuris Plateau,
we have Kimberly,
yes,
the Pink Power Ranger.
Make some noise for Kimberly! I like the whistle. And the top right-hand corner, ladies and gentlemen, this guy has just brought it back with one win. Make it some noise for OGS TheStC. Wow, this is intense.
It is indeed. Shakuris, interesting pick. This map, honestly, I feel like it really does favor the STC's style of play, actually. It's a great map for Terran to split the map in half.
Yeah.
Very easy to do that. And, you know, we saw there on Antigua that the STC really likes to just sit in mid, hunker down, get a ton of tanks there, hold that position. And I can't think of a better map for him to play that style on than this map.
And not only that, this map is actually pretty good for medevac drops as well. You guys can see all the empty area behind the two bases. If the STC decides to go into his medevac play, that can be something that Stephano is going to have a problem dealing with.
Ooh, and we were going to have a command center first here out of the STC. Ballsy play on his part, but it looks like even though Stephano scouted it, he's not going to try and drop an early pool and punish it, which is interesting. I think maybe even dropping a gas and a pool immediately after scouting that might have been a worthy investment for him, because there's not going to be a Marine out on the field for quite some time here.
Well, he is going to go ahead and go with the 15 hatch. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. You know, you go inside the base, you scout around, you see nothing in there. All the SCVs still mining. Immediately, the only things that kind of go off in your head are something like a proxy barracks play.
And getting an earlier pool is good at dealing with proxy racks
absolutely.
as well.
So getting the earlier pool is great for dealing with any kind of cheese, and it's great for dealing with the quick 15cc, as we see the SEC did go for. Having said that, though, we did see Stephano open up with 15 hatch every single game, and he opened up with it on Shattered Temple, even with the barracks being placed on the low ground right in range of his hatchery. And I guess Stephano is just very comfortable with playing a macro style, even against potential cheese or potential quick CC.
Yeah, I agree. Now, he is kind of, you know, letting the STC get away with this, though. I mean, harassing a little bit here at the natural with this drone, and Stephano might get another SCV. I don't know. He's certainly going to try and get those last two hits on it, going to follow it all the way back into the main here. And wow, the STC is actually teching at the same time here. He's just going to get a single Rax, and he's probably going to drop a factory right after that. And that's interesting. He's going to tech and expand super aggressively at the same time. If he gets away with it, that's actually going to be very beneficial for him if Stephano doesn't punish it.
Yeah, now this is the thing. We've seen Stephano play toe-to-toe with even number of hatcheries, or even less than even number of hatcheries to the Terran or Protoss player before. So I guess Stephano's not really the kind of player that really concerns himself with making sure that he follows the playbook of always having one extra hatchery over his opponent. And he still makes it work. So I don't see Stephano grabbing a quick third like something like what Ret or Idra would do. I think he's just going to sit on his two bases and get the quick +1/+1 upgrade for his Lings.
No, I agree. That's exactly what he does. He sits on two base. He waits for +1/+1. He also, it seems, takes his third right about the time that the infestors are starting to pop out. He gets pathogen glands. The infestors start to make their way out on the field. Then he feels safe to grab his third.
Do you think he might change up his playstyle, though, because he saw the SEC open up with 15cc?
It's definitely possible, but we haven't seen anything from him yet.
We do have a change here.
There's a Ro4.
There's a Ro4 on the way.
He could potentially try for an all-in here.
Yeah, this is actually what I'm totally thinking of right now. I mean, why else would he get a Ro4? We haven't seen him incorporate roaches into his standard style of play before. And off of two bases, I certainly feel like Ro4 here with Speedling, he could just go for a Roach Speedling bust at the front door and try to take the game very quickly.
Well, you know, this actually might work out really well for him, because he's transitioning straight into the Reactor Hellion opener. He is getting a tech lab on that barracks, though, which could really help him out later on in this game.
Yeah, if he gets some Marauders out.
Yeah, just the potential to make Marauders if he scouts some sort of an all-in coming here now.
There is the
roaches
comm
on
sat.
the way.
The comm sat goes down and it reveals the Ro4, and that is actually really, really huge. The STC immediately throws down a bunker at the front door. He starts to make a marauder out of his barracks with the tech lab. He knows what's coming for him. This is Roachling aggression, and it's not an all-in. It is designed to be pressure, and it really how much damage you do kind of dictates how you play the rest of the game. And we'll just have to see if Stephano is going to be able to do that, because there is going to be marauders inside a bunker.
He's making a ton of lings right now, though, HD. He really, it seems like he has no intention of following this up with a ton of macro. We have 4 drones, so setting himself up certainly at this point in the game to be behind, though. 37 to 27 harvesters, SCV to drone count right now. The STC didn't finish his wall, though. I have no idea why he didn't finish his wall. That's actually a huge mistake on his part. I don't know what he's thinking. That could end up costing him the game.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing here, man. It looks like the SCV is getting surrounded on the bunker.
He stopped repairing.
The bunker is going down, and it's starting to be repaired right now, but the SCVs, but man, those roaches and lings are doing a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And it looks like the bunker is in the orange right now. It is burning. It is going to go down, and those marauders on the inside go down as well. The SCC, without walling off, may have just cost himself the game.
I cannot believe that he did not complete the wall. Knowing that that all-in was coming, you've got to be kidding me. He didn't invest the extra 100 minerals to drop a supply depot there and potentially save himself the game. I think he must have just had a complete mental breakdown, mental lapse right there, just didn't even think about it. I mean, to be fair, it's obvious that he needed to wall there. That's a very rookie mistake on his part, and it's not characteristic of his play at all, and it could end up costing him this game, and you know, it would really suck to lose a game at this venue, this far into the tournament, just because you forgot to drop a supply depot or a bunker or a barracks, anything. It doesn't matter. You can't allow the roaches and the lings to just walk into your natural and sit right on top of that bunker. I mean, I don't know what happened.
I couldn't agree with you more, man.
I don't know what happened.
If the SEC drops this series right here and now because of that, he will be dreaming of that supply depot. He will have nightmares about it for days to come.
I mean, yeah, look at this, the harvester counts.
Here's the medevac going into the main right now. It is going to be intercepted by lings. I don't even know if the SEC wants to drop here. He is certainly trying to do whatever he can to get back into this game, but you know what? That's not gonna go down.
Stephano, you sexy nerd, showing us that he can switch up his play style, you guys. He's dropped a Baneling Nest and a Spire at his natural, so we're not going to see, he's not a one-trick pony. He has multiple build orders at his disposal. He can play different styles, and I love that he's going to use Ling Bling Muta this game because, you know, it might actually throw the STC off entirely. The STC probably expecting the same cookie cutter, cut and dry, you know, lings with upgrades into infestors style. He's going to completely mix it up on him and throw mutas into the mix, and I love this play.
Yeah, and the Mutalisks are going to be able to deal with the medevacs very easily now. It looks like the SEC is gearing up for some tank play here on the low ground of the main. I really like this as well. The SEC is using whatever tactics he can to get back into this game. Meanwhile, dropping the natural as well. Now, these lings do not have that early +1/+1 upgrade, so they're not nearly as good against these Marines, but Stephano does have Banelings at his disposal. A little surprising here that he's not making any at all, so he's going to have to fight those Marines toe-to-toe with just pure Lings, and that's not being very effective. The Marines are doing some good damage, and they have pushed the drones away from the main.
This is absolutely brutal. He needs Mutalisks right now. That's the only way for him to shut this down. And, you know, that might also be another reason why he's going Mutalisks so quick on this map. Maybe he anticipated that the STC was going to try for some sort of a maneuver like this, and he's doing so much damage. He's denying all the mining at the main. He killed that gas. He's killed additional drones here, and you know, he's really getting himself back in this game.
I couldn't agree with you more, man. He has certainly killed off several drones. He's doing some good damage here. The Mutalisks have arrived now, and the Mutas will clean up the medevacs, and those two tanks are goners. They are goners. They have nowhere to run. Say goodbye, say goodnight. Now, Stephano finally stabilizing after that little bit of harass, but I honestly feel like the SEC got himself back in the game with that little play.
Oh, he might run into these Marines here at the main.
Oh my God, he's gonna lose a Muta.
Ooh, well, he only lost one there. Surprising. I thought he was actually gonna lose a few. Great positioning there from the STC, just you know, one step ahead of the game. But as far as his infrastructure is concerned, you know, the STC took a hard hit early on in this game. He's so far behind in terms of, you know, he's not where he wants to be as a Terran player in this matchup. He still doesn't have the reactor on his starport. He doesn't have those additional Raxes. He's only working off of 3 right now. Doesn't have a 3rd command center yet. And that's not the situation you want to be in. I think he's falling further and further behind here. We have a third up and running healthily for Stephano. And, you know, he could position himself to take a fourth here. But this timing push from the STC, no Banelings out yet. He's just now starting to morph them.
Yeah.
This could be devastating. Baneling speed was also completely forgotten.
Yeah.
He just panicked and started that upgrade, so he's not going to have any Baneling speed. That could end up costing him this game.
Yeah, and that's a result of him getting that Baneling nest a little bit later after the roachling pressure. There are tanks now set up in the middle of the map. Without Baneling speed, I see this third expansion as not survivable. I think that the SEC can go ahead and attack that, but it looks like Stephano going to go right in the middle with speedless Banelings. They are not going to be able to hit those Marines if the SEC is on top of his micro, but there may be too many Lings and Mutas, and it looks like the tank contain has been broken down.
Yeah, he just had more than enough to clean that up.
Yeah.
The STC in a lot of trouble here. He's losing additional Marines. He's losing additional tanks. Like I said earlier, just now getting that third macro orbital inside of his main.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's just way too late.
Wow, that's some great play right there from the Stephano, able to kill off that contain even without speed Banelings. That's pretty crazy right there. And Stephano now with the Mutalisk Clump, he can go inside the main and harass. And I got to go back to what you were saying before. The STC, you know, he did get himself back into the game, but he didn't have that production in the middle. He didn't have the reactors on his barracks. He didn't have the reactor on the starport, like you said. He can't really produce on par with Stephano, and that's why Stephano was able to wreck him even without the speed upgrade.
Yeah, I certainly agree with you there. I also think he took his sweet time going through mid because, you know, I think he was expecting the speed Banelings to be coming, and, you know, he wanted to get rid of all that creep, but I think that actually worked against him a little bit. What he really wanted to do there was just beeline it into the natural.
Goodness. Great Overlord placement from Stephano. This is what Zerg players want to do every day. Just litter the middle of the map and the outside of the map with the Overlords, and you can see those dropships coming for all day. And it looks like Stephano has cleared off yet another medevac harass. Now, there are Marines that are coming into the South expansion. No units here to deal with this, and maybe the SEC can pop a hatchery.
Yeah, he might actually be able to kill this hatchery. The Muta's going to make their way over here. I think he's going to clean this up. He'll save the hatchery here, and that's really important. If he had lost that, that certainly would have brought the STC back into a position to win this game.
We have another medevac drop, the SEC getting fancy with it once again, and this is what he did at the end of the last game to really hammer it out and take the win. He is dropping the main while all the Mutas and Lings are at the third, and all the while he's grabbing a third expansion, so he's looking pretty good in the macro sense, but looks like Stephano was able to clear that away with minimal drone losses again.
Yeah, and he will take out that medevac also. Full medevac going to go down around the top of the main, and look at that Mutaflock getting quite large.
Yeah, that's huge.
Have we approached gaggle status yet, or are we still at a flock?
It's a gaggle of Mutas right now, man. Now, the thing is, what do you do to deal with gaggles? You get a Thor out, and it looks like the SEC has one Thor on the way, two Thors on the way.
He
so
certainly does. He's also trying to establish himself here at the third, but he has no turrets up. The Marine's going to stim and head over there immediately, and they will ward those Mutalisks off for the time being, but
I feel like if Stephano wanted to, he could clear up the middle of the map. That's not really that many Marines. They are
he's making his move here.
Yeah.
He's probably just going to bomb into this planetary, take it out with all these Banelings.
Oh my
God.
Goodness. That planetary.
He didn't have to use nearly as many Banelings as I thought.
Yeah.
And losing that command center is such a huge blow to the STC. I know I touched on this earlier.
Yep.
It took him so long to even get that third CC up in his main. Losing it immediately after trying to establish yourself at the third really compounds the issue and makes that loss a lot graver than you would think.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, right now, the SEC doesn't really have that much mining going on at all, and the Mutalisks are looking to stop all mining at the main. Those SCVs have nowhere to run. Where are the Marines and the Thor? They're way out of position, and the main orbital command could actually go down to these Mutalisks. Unbelievable!
Stephano is absolutely on fire now. He is playing amazing, amazing StarCraft. He's all over the place.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wait, you're dropping? No, I already have units there, just like every other time you drop. Your drops do nothing.
Yeah.
He is so good at stopping all these drops. It's so impressive. He always has a pack of units tucked away somewhere in his back pocket, in his side pocket. He's just waiting all the time. Look at this drop of the natural. Muta's already in position.
Yep.
Dropping again down there at the fourth. Oh, I still have my Lings and Banelings over there. It's like,
get out of here with these medevacs and
STC
drops.
can't do any damage with his drops. They're all being shut down, and now that Stephano has this pack of lings and blings out in the midfield.
Goodness.
This is going to be pandemonium. All of these banelings are just going to rip straight through the third once again. Really, all the STC has going for him right now is these two Thors.
Pain user, there are a total of 48 plus 56, 34 banelings about to join the fray here. Do you think the STC has a chance against all these banelings?
No, I most certainly do not. I don't think there's anything. Oh my God.
My God. This is incredible. I think the STC is in a lot of trouble, ladies and gentlemen. Here are the banelings.
And now is when the STC face palms. Give it up for Stephano.
Stephano, ladies and gentlemen, is going to the grand finals at IPL 3 Atlantic City.
Make some noise.